Hello everyone, it's Andy Glenn here from Sharks TV. I'm joined post-match by Sharks head coach Martin Grubb. Martin, your thoughts on that game?
Served a purpose. I think it got us minutes in the legs. We started well enough. We wanted to take last night's third period into tonight's first period. Thought we moved the puck really well in the first period. We created lots of chances. Second period it got a little bit individual, a little bit scrappy. And Stephen's got his team. They work hard. I know that was their first two games, but they played well and they were never coming here to get rolled over. So a wee bit disappointed with the way we played in the third period. Obviously we wanted to get Logan some minutes, and I don't think we protected him well enough. When we moved the puck, we were good, and ultimately, Steve and I have spoke through the week and the build up to this, and it's never about the scoreline for either of the teams. It's pre-season, minutes in the legs. There's no hiding it. We got some work to do, but we knew that, and now we're a week closer to knowing, exactly where we kind of prioritise things, and we'll move on to next weekend and put more minutes in the legs.
What pleased you most, Martin, in the game?
Well, I think the fact that we rolled four lines, the whole weekend, and the young guys I thought were pretty decent. They've done well. I think now our competition for places through that game, makes it a little bit more difficult for us to pick a lineup. And I think our first period was just, I thought we played some nice hockey, but died a wee bit after that with penalties and stop-start and individuals. So definitely we proved when we play our style of hockey, I think that game showed we can, we're dangerous, and that pleased me. And I thought the fact that we skated, a lot of guys have been really struggling this week with chest and coughs, and probably on any other weekend we might have took the whole weekend off, but the way we battled through and stuck together through some adversity was good for us. So it's a valuable exercise, and obviously we thank the Caps for the two games, and I was pleased with the weekend in general.
6 periods of hockey over 2 days. For me, looking at both games, the middle two periods, the period 3 and the first period today, Sharks looked really, really good.
Yeah, I think that big ice last night. It's a bit of a shock for some people. People saying, there's a lot of ice. Yes, there is, but sometimes a lot of the ice is on the outside, and you're kind of not as involved in some of the kind of dirty areas, I would call them. It took us a couple of periods to really get into it last night, and we answered what I asked them to do in the third really well. Played some nice hockey. Started really well tonight. I thought we took our foot off the gas a little bit. And just got a bit lazy, as I say, but 6 periods of hockey is what it's all about, Andy. It was all about 6 periods, 6 more periods in the legs, and ultimately about having a little bit more of the puck, because last week was difficult. We knew that obviously Glasgow would come here and dominate, so we wanted to try and dominate, which we did for the majority and in long spells, and obviously we outshot them heavily. Ultimately, it's a great exercise. It serves its purpose. Like we said in podcasts and right from the beginning here, there was no points on offer for either of the 2 games or 2 weekends we've played so far. It's just another step forwards to being ready for the opening night.
Your thoughts on the Edinburgh side and their season looking forward?
Yeah, I think they're a good team. I think really solid at the back with Grigors and Isaacs. I think that really helps them at that, especially at that SNL level. It's a great option to have one on each line, and just keeping them really solid. They're both really good players, and I thought Stephen had them working really hard. They played some really good hockey. Like, their power play was dangerous. They scored a couple of good goals last night. They've scored some goals tonight. Chad Smith's played at a high level. Joe Gauchi, obviously they had Joe Lynch last night, and we had Joe tonight. And some of the young guys, they never stopped working. I liked how they skated and how they competed, and I think they've got every year. I know Stevens, again, he's pushing to win that league, and they've just fell short, but if they work as hard as they did there, I think this will stand them in good stead, and they've got to be up there.
Looking forward to next weekend, or Friday, Saturday next week. We play the Great Britain under-20 side. You're the coach of both. I'm kind of wondering how you're going to manage to either remain incredibly positive about both teams or incredibly negative about both teams. How's it going to go for you?
And I think, again, both teams are working on various things, right? And obviously they're looking to get similar things out of it in terms of the fitness levels, executing their structure and little details. So it'll be, I think that you might see a little bit more of a kind of tactical battle at times. Obviously I'm going to set the GB team up, and we know how we're going to play. And not necessarily to counteract ourselves as a Sharks team, but there'll be a definitive way they're going to play, which I can clearly set up to work on what we need as a Solway team. And we'll continue as a Solway team to do what we need to do. So I think it's about both teams coming here, playing fast, playing direct, trying to play good, simple hockey that excites people. And of course, even with our own team, I know we recruit a team, but the GB team's no different because they're trying to get selected to go to World Championships. Our guys are trying to play their way into an opening night roster. So I'm excited about that. I think there's some really good kids on show, and obviously we've got some real good high-end skilled guys and veteran guys, so I think it'll be a good game for everybody to see.
Well, thank you so much for joining me post-game, and all the best for the rest of the week, and we'll speak to you then.
Thank you. Cheers.